We all have those ingredients in our kitchen that we use without thinking too much about, and mayonnaise is definitely one of them. It's the smooth and creamy secret behind so many dishes, from sandwiches to salads to dips. But here's something you might not know: mayonnaise isn't the same everywhere. In fact, depending on where you are, it can taste, look, and even feel completely different. If you've ever tried Japanese mayonnaise, you've probably noticed it's not quite the same as the regular, Western-style mayo we're used to. So, what makes them different? Why does Japanese mayonnaise have a distinct flavor and texture? And how should you use each type in your cooking? Join me today as we dive into the difference between regular mayonnaise and Japanese mayonnaise. Let's start by looking at what goes into these two kinds of mayonnaise, because the ingredients are where the real differences begin. Both regular mayonnaise and Japanese mayonnaise are made from the same basic building blocks: oil, eggs, and vinegar. But the specifics are what really set them apart. Regular mayonnaise, the type most of us are familiar with, uses whole eggs, both the yolk and the white. The oil is typically a neutral one, like canola or vegetable oil, and the vinegar is usually distilled or sometimes lemon juice. Some brands also throw in a bit of mustard, sugar, or other seasonings to balance out the flavor. The result is a creamy, smooth, and mildly tangy condiment that works well in a variety of dishes. Japanese mayonnaise, most famously represented by the Kewpie brand, takes a slightly different approach. It's made using only egg yolks, which gives it a richer, more velvety texture. Instead of distilled vinegar, it often uses rice vinegar, which brings a milder, sweeter tang to the table. Some versions even include a touch of dashi, a Japanese soup stock made from fish and seaweed, to add a hint of umami flavor. So, while both types of mayonnaise share the same core ingredients, these small changes make a huge difference in how they taste and feel. Now, let's talk about flavor. You might think mayonnaise is just mayonnaise, but when you compare these two side by side, the differences are pretty clear. Regular mayonnaise has a mild, clean taste. The flavor is subtle, with just a slight tang from the vinegar and a smooth, creamy texture that blends easily into dishes. It's perfect as a base for dressings, a binder in salads, or just spread on a sandwich. The egg flavor is there, but it's not overwhelming. It's balanced and works well with other ingredients. Japanese mayonnaise, on the other hand, has a much richer, more complex flavor. Because it's made with only egg yolks, it has a deeper, almost custardy taste. The rice vinegar gives it a gentle tang that's less sharp than the vinegar in regular mayo, and if it has dashi, there's an added layer of umami that makes it even more savory. It's often a little sweeter too, which balances the richness of the yolks and the slight acidity from the vinegar. When you taste Japanese mayonnaise, it feels more indulgent, more like a finishing ingredient that you want to savor on its own, rather than just something to mix into a dish. Now let's talk texture. You might not think about it, but the way mayonnaise feels can make a big difference in how it's used. Regular mayonnaise has a light, creamy texture. Because it uses whole eggs, including the whites, it's a bit thinner and easier to spread. It blends well into dishes like potato salad or coleslaw, where you want something that adds creaminess but doesn't overpower the other ingredients. It's also great for mixing into sauces and dressings because it emulsifies nicely without making things too thick. Japanese mayonnaise, on the other hand, is much thicker and creamier. The egg yolks give it a denser, richer texture, so when you spread it on something, it holds its shape and doesn't just melt away. This makes it ideal for topping dishes like okonomiyaki or takoyaki, where you want the mayo to be a big part of the dish, not just an accent. It's also perfect as a dip or a spread, where you want that rich, creamy texture to stand out. Now that we've covered ingredients, flavor, and texture, let's talk about how each type of mayonnaise is used in cooking. Both regular and Japanese mayonnaise are versatile, but they tend to be used in slightly different ways. Regular mayonnaise is a kitchen staple in Western cooking. You'll find it in sandwiches, wraps, salads like potato salad and coleslaw, and as a base for dressings like ranch or Caesar. It's also a key ingredient in sauces like tartar sauce or aioli, and it's even used in baking to keep cakes moist and add richness. Its mild flavor and light texture make it a go-to for everyday cooking. Japanese mayonnaise, on the other hand, is often used more as a finishing touch. It's drizzled on top of dishes like okonomiyaki, a savory pancake, or used as a dip for things like fried chicken or tempura. Because of its thicker texture and richer flavor, it's meant to stand out more in a dish, rather than just blend in. It's also commonly mixed with other ingredients like soy sauce or wasabi to create dipping sauces or salad dressings. So, how can you use these two types of mayonnaise in your own cooking? It really depends on what you're making and the flavor or texture you're after. If you're looking for a mild, creamy mayo that can blend into a dish without stealing the spotlight, go with regular mayonnaise. It's perfect for sandwiches, mixing into salads, or using as a base for your favorite homemade sauces. You can even use it in baking, like in cakes or cornbread, to add moisture and richness. But if you want something a bit more luxurious, with a deeper flavor, try Japanese mayonnaise. Use it as a topping for grilled meats or vegetables, or drizzle it over fries, okonomiyaki, or sushi rolls for a burst of flavor. You can also mix it with soy sauce, wasabi, or garlic for a delicious dipping sauce or dressing. It's rich, indulgent, and will definitely take your dishes to the next level. So, there you have it. While regular mayonnaise and Japanese mayonnaise share the same basic ingredients, the differences in flavor, texture, and how they're used can really set them apart. Whether you're looking for a mild, versatile spread or a rich, creamy topping, both types of mayonnaise have a place in your kitchen. Thanks for joining me today as we explored the world of mayonnaise. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one.